Hey everyone, it's Austin with QuantVue. So this week I want to go over manual trading with LeonGrid. So we released an automated tool, LeonGrid, but this time I want to show how you can trade it manually and put that in your pack of tools for your trading day. So if we go over to my screen, we have a blank M&Q chart with Q bars size 71133. That is the out of the box standard size for QRenko that we recommend. So, what all do you need to trade in the Leon grid style? Well, let's go to our indicator box here and let's just start adding in the indicators that we need. So, our first one, our main one is QGrid. I'm going to pop that in. I'm going to leave all the default settings. I'm not going to change anything. So, we'll put that in there. And then next, the big one is Q Cloud. We're going to put that in there without any changes as well. So all of this is default settings for those two. So we have some secondary stuff that we can use to add confluences together and have kind of a better chance in our trade. So the other ones that we would use are Moneyball. Again, we're just going to leave it at default right now. If we need to change something, we will in just a few minutes. I'm going to add Q momentum in there just to have it in there. That's a good one to use for manual trading. And I think we'll stick with this. So this is around 9:30 on the chart here. I'm gonna kind of zoom through some of the day and we'll take some entries and I'm sure we'll have some losses so we can kind of show how it handles uh, your trade as you go. So I have this set up with a ATM strategy for my manual trading. Obviously, I have it named LeonGrid. So I am trading 4 contracts total. My first two have a stop loss of 75 and a profit target of 80. It will move up at 75. So whenever you're 75 ticks above your entry, it'll automatically move your stop loss up to your buy entry. It's not going to sell the two until you hit 80, which is only 5 ticks away. It's not that far. But I mean, I've seen it get up to 70, 75, and then come right back down. So I kind of customize that a little bit to help out. Next one, our target two. That's just one contract, same stop loss, but this time the profit target is 120 ticks from your entry. And then the auto break even is 75, and then it auto trails at 80. So it just steps up. After you hit 80, every 10 ticks, that's what this frequency is. Every 10 ticks, it will make your stop loss 80 off of whatever that price level is. And then our third one, that's our runner. It's not going to have a profit target. We just want it to go as far as it can go. And again, it has a auto break even at 80, and then 75, and then your stop loss of 80 starting right after that with a frequency of 10 ticks. So that's how I trade with the ATM strategy. We forgot an indicator. So I made a custom indicator and it's on GitHub. You can see the links in the Discord. I link to it quite often. It's this QGrid MA offset. We're going to add that in there. I want a offset of 20 ticks, and then our QGrid should match whatever you have in your QGrid indicator. In this case, it's default, which it pops up as default values here. I like to change this to a dashed line. Let's go to the right menu there. A dashed line, and that's going to pop this yellowish goldenrod line in there. This is kind of the main deal with Leon Grid. So to kind of explain how we are going to be trading this, we are waiting for a pullback into this offset area here, this little range. We call it a threshold. And whenever it gets in there, that's kind of your first signal. So you want to wait until it comes back in and starts going in the direction, the bias of QGrid. And then we can start stacking confluences on top of that. So we would wait till we have a closure and we want it to go back up. And then the next one that we're looking for is an add dot for QGrid. And then the third one is whenever all of your Q cloud lines turn green, in this case for a bullish. We would take our entry right here. Now, would it hit on this? We would probably sell 2 contracts and then we would come back to even for the rest of them. So if we did it, if we going through here, we would have a loss here if we took this. To kind of get away from this, to make sure that we don't take stuff like this, we can add in Moneyball. So Moneyball was kind of flat right there. That would tell us that it hasn't picked a direction, and we would stay out of that trade. We'd sit that one out. Whereas this one back here, we would have a pullback. We have our little add dot in there. I know it's hard to see. We have all green, Q cloud, and then we have Moneyball over the threshold. So we would take that one for sure, and we'd get down to a runner on that. So I'm gonna turn on market replay, and we're gonna take some trades here. We'll just see how it goes. I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to kind of speed it up because this is kind of boring to watch if you don't have it sped up on market replay. All right, so it came down. We could take this trade if we wanted to. That would have been a good one to take. Actually, let's slow down. It's starting to move. That's the 930. So, of course, it's going to move pretty quickly. So that one would have been a good trade. We would still be in our runner at this point, and it would just keep going. So we'll wait for the next one here. So it's going to come down, maybe speed it up. Market replay's a fun tool to use. It can just be kind of weird. All right, so there we have all of it. So I'm going to take the trade. Kind of jumped there. Didn't really get a good entry. That's okay. We still see how it works. Oh, it almost got to the first target. So maybe it'll get up there and trigger. There's the buy entry. The first target sold 2 contracts. We were 18 points up, which is good. And then if it would keep going up, that would trail just like that. Perfect. And then sell our second target, and now we just have one runner, and it'll go as far as it can. So let's speed it up again, get out of this trade, and try to take another one. Well, that trail is working good for this trade. So another thing that we could have used for this, for another confluence, is Q momentum here. We'll talk about that while that's still going. So we got our little green dot here, and then our slope is going up. So it's showing that the momentum is going to the bullish side. There's our trailing trigger, which is around our second target, which is fine. Now, one thing that we could do here is we could get right back into a trade if we wanted to, but I tend to wait. I like that little delay. I might wait for the complete next signal. I don't want to get out of a trade and immediately get back in one because the chances of it going good are kind of bad. So see there, that would have been a bad trade. We would have lost there. So we had our Q grid flip. Now we're looking for short entries. So we're going to wait until we get a closure of a bar inside this threshold here. And we're going to wait for it to go down and get an add signal on QGrid, all of our Q cloud to turn red, and then a bearish money ball. All right, there's the threshold. We're going to get another one here. And now we need the add. And we're still waiting because we want Moneyball to show something. So that kept us out of a bad trade there because we had all 5 red plus the add and the threshold. So that would, without the Moneyball, we would have been in a bad trade. So we're just going to keep waiting. And it looks like we might get another flip here to the bullish, so we're going to wait for a bullish entry here. Wait for it to come back to the threshold. If it does, looks like it's just going to rocket. So standard Q grid will take that entry there, which would have been decent for this, but with Leon grid, you're not taking the flips. So you want to wait. The algorithm is decently consistent. If you want to try that out, it's on the GitHub as well. It's decently consistent if you get the settings okay. I have 3 different types of settings on our log spreadsheet to kind of get you started there if you wanted to try looking at that. All right, so here we get a closure. It's just one bar, but it's still, yep. And then we have all of our confluences stacked there. So I'm going to take the entry and we're going to see how this goes. Maybe. I've got this on 8x, so it's kind of quick. It's kind of jumping around. You don't get as good of fills as you normally would. I mean, that's 8x worth the time in there. It's still doing okay. It's kind of flat. This might be one that I would exit if I were trading this live. I don't like to see them go almost to the first target and then come down again. I don't like seeing that. It's one of the reasons I have that 5 tick buffer in for my auto break even. Oh, see, we're getting another signal here. So that would have been a good entry there as well per our rules. Oh, it hit the first target, so that's good. So our break even is set. We had our first 2 contracts, so the trade is pretty much free now. And then we came back to even, which is fine. We still sold 2 contracts. So we paid for our commissions plus some. That's good. I'm good with that. So we've had 2 good trades here. We might get another flip, maybe. And see, we're still close to this exit, so I'm not going to take this entry. Like the algorithm, we can set like a countdown timer that will count down bars. As after you exit a trade, it'll count down bars and it won't take an entry until that countdown is done. It's kind of what I'm doing here, but kind of more in my head and visually. I'm not counting all of these bars manually. Now, if it sits here a while and I get 2 or 3 dots, I might consider taking it. But we'll see how this goes. It seems like it's wanting to drop a little bit. Another add dot. Moneyball is flat, so we're not gonna take it. Q momentum is kind of deciding which way it wants to go. Kind of right in the middle, kind of flat as well. And this is where you can kind of play with your settings to get it the way that you want it to look whenever you take a trade. Like I'm not taking that. That's so flat. There's no point in taking that. You have just as much of a chance of hitting your stop loss as you do your target. So I'm going to stay out of that. I want to see it pick a direction and then pull back, and then we'll take another trade. Let's speed it up and get it into a different time of the day. It's about 10:30 on the playback. I'm sure what day this is. So 7. So Thursday. Oh, there's a flip. Let's turn it down. Leave it on 8x. So now we're waiting for a pullback into the threshold again. We're waiting. Oh, it's going to blow right through it and flip again. So that'll keep you out of that trade. That's good. We're just going to get some chop going into lunch, it looks like. There's a pullback. Is it going to go up and give us our signals? So we're curling. If we get a dot here, we have our threshold. Now we've got our Q cloud, our dot. We're waiting on Moneyball and momentum. So there's Q momentum, waiting on Moneyball. So nope, gotta stay out of that. I would still see this as valid. There's their dot, so I'm gonna take it. And this one might turn around and come right back. So we'll kind of see what it does here. Oh, no, still a good trade. Perfect. Not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping to see one of these go bad to kind of show that this is not, it might be a good trade plan, but it is absolutely not perfect, just like any other trade plan. You are going to make bad trades with this. It is not 100% foolproof. So we hit 2 targets there. Now we're on our runner. It's gonna maybe come down and stop out. And this exit is kind of up to you. If you want to exit this trade yourself manually, that's completely fine. You don't have to have the runner. Actually, so the trade plan that I was sent by the member that this was made, kind of mimicking his trading style, Leon, he doesn't necessarily use a runner. So he will take 2 entries. So you have the 2 contracts on your first entry and then the 1 contract on your second. So you have 2 targets and it doesn't have the runner. I like using the runner. I think it's worthwhile, especially whenever you get these long runs like this. Whereas before we would already be out right here. We'd be waiting for our next entry. Now we're kind of maximizing on that. Yes, our trail exited underneath target 2, but we still have that chance for it to go up. And it's another contract that we're selling there for a profit. All right, I think that we'll end it there. We'll just kind of let this run. So if you're not a member of QuantVue and you want to try LeonGrid out yourself, you can go to quantvue.io and sign up for a 14-day free trial. Your 14-day free trial will come with all of these tools that you can use together and trade LeonGrid yourself. So make sure and go sign up for that. If you have any questions, be sure to tag me on Discord. I'm always available. I'll answer anything that you ask. Hope everyone has good luck with this, and we'll see you in the next video.